So Kim Kee-hee is joining the Seattle Sounders. We were fortunate enough to break the news earlier than anyone else got to talk about it. We spoke about it a few days ago, how Kim Kee-hee is going to be coming back to the club. We got some inside sources from South Korea that gave us that information. Big shout out to them for that. And we get to pre-record this and talk about it quite early on. But yeah, I mean, talking about Kim Kee-hee, we've talked about a plethora of signings this offseason. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the last piece to the Sounders additions going into next season. Brody, we'll let you get started with this one. What do you think about Kim Kee-hee coming to the Sounders?
Well, if we take a look right here, there's a reason why. I don't know if you can see. He is on my wall. He is on my Sounders wall. Kim Kee-hee, the GOAT. This has been there, by the way. This has been there before I found out that he was coming back. So, big Kim fan over here. Listen, man, this is something. Look, everyone doubted us, but this is something we knew. We've been known this, known it for some time, and I'm stoked. I'm stoked. I mean, it's what we need. We lost a few. I mean, we definitely lost Nathan as a depth piece at center back. You bring in a guy who's going to be very cheap. Nathan was costing us about $550,000 per year. Kim's going to be on the veteran minimum, if not close to that. It's a great depth piece, and he knows the club. He loves the fans. For what it is, couldn't be more stoked, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much in the same boat. As someone that's an Asian football connoisseur like myself, I was a big fan when we had Kim Kee-hee. I'm a big fan that he's coming back. And I think the one big thing with this is this is a feel good signing. This is a signing that I would say 80% of fans are like, okay, big W. There's no murky waters with Kim for the most part, other than outside his age, and we'll get into that. But it's like, oh, Kim's coming back. Everyone loves the guy. It kind of reminds me of when Freddie came back in 2021. A lot of fans are quite happy about it, seeing that return. We knew that Kim was wanting to return back to MLS for, the past month. We didn't know if it was going to be Seattle or not. And then when we got the news it was going to be Seattle, we thought it was huge. So he was wanting to come back to MLS, kind of similarly, as I said, like Freddie, he wanted to come back to MLS as well. And then Seattle were the team that ended up picking him up. And I think that was a good thing. Obviously, the big, slight concern is he is 35. He's on the older side, and it kind of goes back to my argument with Paul Areola with bring him in. I'd rather us play the kids, but by the sounds of it too, it looks like we're going to be, Stuart Hopkins isn't going to be really in the first team picture. You already have Reagan, Yamar, Bell, and now you add Kim Kee-hee in that center back options in that as well. We can't forget Josh Atencio, I guess, is going to be a center back. Depending on what formation we play, I think it's good depth. He's on that minimum, again, similar to Freddie. So there's really not anything you're losing out of it other than just experience. It kind of just a little sprinkle of something else because he was a really good defender in the K-League for another Club World Cup representative in Olsen HC, may I add, is they will as well be in the Club World Cup. So he would have played in it, but he decided to come play with us for the Club World Cup. So I think there's a feel good factor to Kim Kee-hee coming back. I think like fans are happy about that. I think the big negative is he is really, really old, but he's wanting to come back here. We had success with him. We can't forget he was our starting center back in the 2019 MLS Cup championship. So I think there's a lot of like pros mainly with some cons when it comes to talking about Kim.
Yeah, and I would actually argue that I wouldn't see any cons in it simply because we have our locked in guys. Like Reagan, Yamar, those are the guys that are going to be starting. John Bell's a locked in rotation guy. A team like us that's going to be playing in a lot of tournaments, a couple high profile tournaments, you bring in a guy, he's going to be on a 1 year, maybe 1 year with an option deal. He's simply here like for this season for sure. And this is where we do need depth, and not only depth, but championship experience. And that's exactly what he's going to serve. That's the purpose of him even being here. I don't have to factor in his age because he's not going to be around for a long time. We're not counting on him to be here for a long time, but only for a good time. Good, short, sweet time. And listen, man, I'm stoked. I'm stoked. It's about as perfect of a veteran depth signing as you can get, dude. He's a lovable guy. He's been here. He's won a trophy with us, and he's still quality. He's still playing well. He was still playing well in the Korean league from all accounts. So I don't know. I have no negative words to say about it. I'm so stoked he's coming back, and he's going to be a very good rotation guy. Oh, dude, absolutely. I mean, when he was here the first time, man, I talked about him at least once a game. I rated him so highly, and he did get respect. People did love him when he was here, but I feel like they didn't love him enough. I feel like he was pretty underrated. Like he never really got any mentions for. Did he ever make an All Star team? I don't think he ever did.
I don't think so.
I don't think he ever did. I thought he was like that caliber of player, if not pretty close to it. And yeah, I'm just stoked he's coming back. I couldn't ask for any better of a veteran minimum signing than Kim Kee-hee. So
As well, we can't forget to mention he's been here, he's done that. I think that's really really important, and I think he really wants to be here. You know, fresh scenery. He seemed to really love being here. He loved living here. He loved the team. I think this could be his last hurrah, and why not? In a huge opportunity with all these tournaments we're playing in, and as well, kind of like what I talked about in the Paul Areola video. I want to see us bring in some like, outside resources, not just players within the league, but a guy that has experience elsewhere who has played at higher levels in Asia. And I like that because, as I said, I'm a big Asian football guy. So to have an Asian footballer be on the Sounders, I think it's great. And I think it's also adds a little bit of a different dimension and different type of experience. And as well, he's always reliable. Kim, like you never see Kim drop a stinker. I don't think ever. And I think to add on to one of the points you made is I think it's once Kim left, people were like, oh shit, I really miss the guy. Like he was I enjoyed his presence. I enjoyed when he played for us. And it was kind of after he left, you're like, oh man, I miss that. I mean, that back line we had back in the day, Leardom, Jones, Kim Kee, like I liked it a lot. A lot of different voices, personnel, style that really made our defense very solid back in that time.
and like we've been saying, we love the guy. He's just an awesome person to have on the team. Uh, he's won it here with us, and in a season where you're going to be playing these tournaments that you want to win. That's the kind of signing that you want to make on the cheap. That kind of veteran signing who has done it before, and in a position where you can't have mistakes. You can't have mistakes in the back line, and you bring in a guy who's very experienced at highest level of the MLS. So it's perfect. It's a perfect signing. I don't know what else more to say other than I'm stoked he's coming back. I hope we get to meet him someday.
Nonetheless, boys and girls, that's going to be the end of the video talking about Kim Kee-hee. Wax lyrical in the comments about Kim returning. And let us know your thoughts. How would you rate the signing of Kim returning? How would you rate the entirety of the Sounders window? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. And boys and girls, I hope you all have a lovely day.